You are sitting on your couch on a Friday night. You have had a long, exhausting week and all you want to do is relax. You pick up the remote, open a streaming app, and look at the screen. You have thousands of movies, documentaries, and television shows right at your fingertips. You have access to more entertainment choices in your living room than any king or emperor in human history ever had. So what do? You scroll. You scroll past action movies, comedies, thrillers, and dramas. You watch trailers, you read summaries. You scroll for 10 minutes, then 20 minutes, then 45 minutes. Finally, completely exhausted and overwhelmed by the options, you turn off the television and go to sleep, having watched absolutely nothing. If you have ever done this, you are not alone. You are a victim of a massive psychological trap that is quietly destroying the happiness of the modern world. We have been brainwashed by modern society into believing a massive lie. The lie is this: freedom means having choices, and having more choices means having more freedom, which ultimately leads to more happiness. It sounds logical, right? If 2 options are good, then 2,000 options must be incredible. But psychology tells a completely different, much darker story. For the next 10 minutes, we are going to dive deep into a terrifying psychological phenomenon known as the paradox of choice. We're going to explore exactly why having too many options is actually paralyzing your brain, ruining your relationships, and making you deeply miserable. And most importantly, I am going to give you the psychological tools to hack the system, bypass the paralysis, and finally find peace and decisiveness in a world of endless options. To understand why your brain freezes when you look at a menu with 100 items, we have to understand human evolution. For 99% of human history, we lived in environments of extreme scarcity. Our primitive brains were not designed to choose between 50 different brands of toothpaste or 10,000 potential partners on a dating app. Our brains were designed for survival. When early humans found food, they did not stand around debating if it was the absolute best possible food in the forest. They ate it. Fast forward to today, and our ancient, primitive brains are suddenly being bombarded by an infinite buffet of choices in every single aspect of our lives. When you are presented with a massive number of options, your brain experiences a phenomenon called cognitive overload or analysis paralysis. The prefrontal cortex, the logical decision-making center of your brain, simply cannot process the variables. It gets overloaded and shuts down. But it's not just a sheer number of choices that makes you miserable, it's the psychological weight of what you are giving up. In economics and psychology, there's a concept called opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means that every time you make a choice, you are simultaneously rejecting all the other available options. When you only have 2 options and you pick one, the opportunity cost is low. You only missed out on one thing. But when you have 100 options, picking one means you're rejecting 99 other possibilities. Your brain instantly starts focusing on the 99 things you missed out on rather than the one thing you actually chose. This creates a constant, agonizing state of regret and anxiety. This is why you buy a new phone, a new car, or a new pair of shoes, and instead of feeling happy, you immediately wonder if you should have bought the other model. This is the dark side of modern dating apps. You have access to thousands of single people in your city, but instead of finding love, you find endless dissatisfaction. You go on a great date, but the moment you get home, your brain whispers, what if there's someone slightly better, slightly funnier, or slightly more attractive just one more swipe away? The abundance of choice destroys your ability to commit. You become trapped in a never-ending search for perfection that doesn't actually exist. Psychologist Barry Schwartz, who popularized the concept of the paradox of choice, divides the world into 2 types of decision makers: maximizers and satisficers. Maximizers are people who need to make the absolute best possible choice every single time. They will spend weeks reading reviews for a toaster. They are terrified of making the wrong decision, so they obsess over every tiny detail. Satisficers, on the other hand, do not look for the absolute best. They look for good enough. They have a set of criteria, and the moment they find an option that meets those criteria, they choose it and they move on. They don't care if there might be a slightly better option out there somewhere. Here is the ultimate psychological truth. Statistically, maximizers make slightly better objective decisions, but they are significantly more miserable, stressed, and depressed than satisficers. Maximizers are constantly tortured by buyer's remorse and the anxiety of missed opportunities. Satisficers are the ones who actually enjoy their lives. If you want to cure the disease of overthinking and escape the paradox of choice, you have to completely kill the maximizer inside of you. You have to accept that the pursuit of the absolute best is a toxic illusion that will keep you paralyzed forever. So how do we hack the brain to become a satisficer? The most powerful weapon against the paradox of choice is the intentional creation of artificial constraints. You must willingly limit your own freedom to actually become free. Think about highly successful people like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg. Why did they wear the exact same outfit every single day? It wasn't a fashion statement. It was a psychological defense mechanism. They were actively eliminating a daily choice to conserve their brain's decision-making energy for things that actually mattered. You must ruthlessly eliminate trivial choices from your life. Automate your meals, your routines, and your wardrobe. When you are forced to make a decision, you must set strict, unbreakable parameters. If you're buying a product, tell yourself, I'm going to look at exactly 3 reviews and I will make my decision in exactly 10 minutes. Set a timer. When the timer goes off, you pull the trigger. No more scrolling, no more debating. You make the choice and you immediately close the app. Once a decision is made, you must practice the ancient art of burning the ships. When historical commanders landed their armies on hostile shores, they would burn their own ships. This completely eliminated the option of retreat. You must do the same with your decisions. Once you commit to a path, a project, or a partner, you must completely blind yourself to all other alternatives. Stop looking over your shoulder. Stop wondering what if. True freedom is not an infinite menu of options. True freedom is the ability to commit to one thing and ignore the rest. The modern world wants you to be paralyzed. The massive corporations want you to keep swiping, keep scrolling, and keep agonizing over every tiny purchase. They profit from your indecision. Don't let them hack your mind. Reclaim your mental energy. Lower your standards for trivial things. Accept that good enough is often the absolute best path to happiness. Make the choice, close the door behind you, and never look back. The power of your life is not in the options you have, but in the commitments you are brave enough to make. The constant search for upgrades will leave you with a deeply downgraded sense of joy. Stop chasing the ghost of perfection and start building a reality of commitment. Every unmade decision is a heavy weight that slowly drains your psychological energy. Your time is your most valuable asset. Don't waste it scrolling through a menu of meaningless options. The fear of making the wrong choice is the exact thing that guarantees you will make no choice at all. Take back control of your attention and you will instantly take back control of your life. Don't let the illusion of infinite options blind you to the beauty of what's right in front of you. A good decision made today is infinitely better than a perfect decision made tomorrow. The magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding, not in the option you haven't chosen yet.